Megan and I are here to tell you why we're not getting chickens, but then we're going to show you our friends who did get chickens, and maybe this will help those of you who are on the fence about it, on the chicken wire, on the coop about it. Maybe this will help you decide whether you should get chickens. So the reason that Megan and I have decided we're not going to get chickens is because Megan is pretty irresponsible, and honestly, she really just cares about feeding herself. And from what I've heard, that's really the main responsibility you have when you've got chickens. This is video of the producer, our daughter. Now, she loves chickens, and she would be all about helping out with the chickens if she didn't squeeze them so tight that she pops their heads off. That's one thing we got to look out for. However, she's still only 2 years old, and not really at that stage where you could reliably trust that she's going to do her farm chores. Lynn is not here all of the time, so really it would fall on my shoulders. And right now, I just got too many other things to worry about, like the garden, which I've almost destroyed, the horses, which no comment, and the dog, who continues to come home with ticks. Maybe I'll do a separate video on what we're trying with natural tick repellent, but I don't know, man. It's a battle. Every day it's a battle. If you've got other ideas, leave them in the comments. We're already using lemongrass stuff, so don't leave that, because we already tried that. But long story short, chickens, because also, besides the chores and like setup for it, we live really close to a forest with coyote den, at least one in there, and we see coyotes a lot. And I don't really want them coming in the yard eating the chickens. Not actually, sadly, because I care about the chickens, more because I care about our dog. And I just don't have time to deal with that right now. Predator control is just not top of my priority list. So finally, the other reason is that we're moving probably within the next year. And I don't also want to have to worry about a horse, a dog, the family packing up. We've got an Airstream. We've got a horse trailer. Obviously, the horses will probably go in that, but not if we go very far away. Then we're probably going to have to ship them because our trailer is pretty small, and I think it would be miserable. But I don't know. Anyway, long story short, we've just got other stuff. So chickens, even though they're high on the list, they're not going to be on our list right now. However, the nice thing is we have a lot of friends with chickens. And recently, oh, hi, Sassy. Would you like to say why we're not going to get chickens? Would you like to say why we're not going to get chickens, Sassy? Yeah, Sassy's quieter. She's a little quieter. Anyway, our Seattleite friends who recently moved out this way to Eastern Washington are going sort of just full speed ahead on this sort of half homesteading venture. And so they decided they've got almost 60 chicks this year, meat and egg layers. So we went over to meet them, and this is why they decided to get chickens.
One day I went to the grocery store and I couldn't find any chicken. They had 0. And we like to eat chicken. So we moved to a place where we have space, and so we decided, why not? It's really hard to find good quality chickens to eat that they were raised humanely, that are fed organic food, had a good life. So we thought we'd give it a go. We ordered 30 meat birds. We got 31. They sent us 1 extra. We're at 29. A couple have not made it. We're not really sure why.
You got chicks.
We got chicks. We got baby chicks in the mail. So we ordered them from a hatchery, and they came in the mail in a cardboard box. They were very loud and tiny. Instead of going to the feed store to buy chicks, we went with a hatchery because we wanted a specific breed of chickens. Most people get Cornish cross for their meat birds, which is what you can typically buy easy, and they're very prolific, easy to get. We wanted the Rangers, and I'd heard really good things about this Freedom Ranger hatchery in Pennsylvania. I like that they're a family business. They're small. Their prices were really good. And I could get exactly what I wanted, and I could get GMO free which is really important to us. They maintain a flock of GMO-free Freedom Rangers. So they have a separate flock that is just fed GMO-free food, and they're free-ranged, and those are the parents. That's the parent flock for these birds. I also wanted to be able to control the date we got them, and I wasn't sure. We had talked to the feed store, and they said, essentially call, and if we have some, come in right that minute because they sell out really fast. And I didn't want to be at the whim of, I didn't want to have to maybe wait a month. I wanted to be able to pick the date that we got them. The biggest surprise to me was how fast the meat birds are growing and how much bigger they were at the very beginning from the egg layers. So we got the meat birds a day ahead of the egg layers, and I thought they were tiny. And then we got the egg layers the next day, and it was like, oh, wow, that's what tiny is. The meat birds they're huge compared to the egg layers. That's been the biggest surprise to me. And that shouldn't have been a surprise because I've done all the research and I know they grow super fast, but never having chickens before. I mean, how do you know? But they're 4 weeks old and they're just massive already.
See, look,
Oh,
it's
you're
Isabelle.
right. She is small. Aw.
She's 4 weeks.
Poor
So
thing.
what's the deal with a 4-week chick who isn't growing,
Has Dolly Parton chest.
has a giant crop?
Baby.
You want to hold her? Let me, in a minute.
Let me hold her. I want to hold her low to the ground so I.
And she's like half the size of the others, but she eats like a fiend.
You're so.
She has tons of energy, but she doesn't, I don't understand why her crop is just massive. Like that whole thing
Hold her.
is just huge. It feels very soft.
I've built tool sheds, so that's kind of what I did, and then put some chicken features. It's probably too tall, and if you were going to have it on dirt, you would probably want it shorter and on stilts so that mice and stuff can't live underneath it. But I copied what I have seen other people do, and this is the laying box that is now blocked off because we don't want them in there right now. But the idea is that they lay the eggs and it rolls out in this area so that eggs do not stay in the laying boxes. And I've seen other people that raise chickens say it's quite nice because you don't have to clean the eggs. They come out clean. And that's the only thing that is kind of maybe different than the average chicken house. But
And you repurposed the wood, a lot of it?
yeah, this wood came from the garage paneling in a house we used to own that we remodeled, and this is from a different project. The hinges are off the doors from our house that we remodeled. So it's just kind of whatever scrap I had.
You sold your house and like that one movie just basically took everything with you?
We took, yes, well, we updated everything, and so this is the old stuff that was out of style.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so the gold hardware on the doors and stuff was big in the 50s when they built our other house. Yeah, I was kind of in shock of how much lumber costs. Instead of $20 a sheet, it was $50 a sheet. So I scrounged every bit of scrap that I had and bought the least amount possible. And
What do
we'll
you think
see.
it cost you total?
The roofing was the most expensive. I bought new metal roof. It was probably, since we used mostly scrap wood, it was probably around $350 or so. We needed 3 roof panels, and those were like $38 a piece, I think. But the rest of it, as you can see, it's not pretty.
Does the job, though.
But it works.
My best advice for people who are just thinking about it, I would say just do it. And it's, it's work, and it's, it's daily, it's multiple times a day, but it's not, it's maybe 15 minutes total a day. And it's awesome. it's not hard. It's if you have the space, just do it. And they don't even take that much space. They are messy, so consider that. Keep them outside if you can. The kids love them. They're getting to learn all about chickens and raising chickens and being responsible. I mean, they help us get their water and their food and take care of them. They help us make sure they're all okay. And so the education they're getting is awesome. And yeah, I would just say just jump in and do it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? A couple birds die. I mean, that's sad and awful, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. And then you get amazing chicken at the end or fantastic eggs. So either way, it's a win-win, I think. You get the experience of raising them and then the food for your family.
How are you preparing for the final day, the end times, the chicken end times?
I plan to watch YouTube videos on how to do it. I've read a lot of books. I'm a little nervous about it. I'm nervous about taking the guts out. That seems like the part I'm the most, I don't know.
You guys have named some of them though. Is that going to be hard? I mean, what about if Isabella actually makes it, in her big
Yeah, I know,
chunky
right?
throat?
Yeah, she's dinner. She's gonna be dinner someday.
I've processed chickens before. When growing up, we did a couple batches, like 25 at a time, but that's been like 30 years. So
It's like riding a bike. It's fine.
yeah, I'm more worried about the involved work is because we had like a feather plucker and stuff like that we used, and at this point we're not planning on purchasing one, or maybe we can rent one, but so I'm just worried that it's going to be super slow, and
Take forever.
so we might do just a few at a time and spread it out.
Oh, I kind of just want to get it over with. So I don't know. Maybe we need to prepare for the for the last day.
You don't want to give your chickens too much time to think what happened to Isabella.
Yeah. Or Rocky. Where'd
Right.
Rosie go? But we know when we tell our kids that they're going to be dinner someday, and they understand that, at least
For now.
in theory. As little kids, they know what they know.
So I hope that was helpful for those of you that are debating chickens or no chickens, at least just hearing our story about why we're not or why our friends did. Leave us a comment about how you made this decision, whether it was a yay or a nay. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.